Oh my gosh, come on in, fellow pop culture aficionado.
Or our moms.
Hi, moms. Enjoy us on the couples couch. We saved you a seat.
We're Tanner and KB Cunningham, a married couple who dish out hilarious banter and spark interesting conversation.
From the wild world of reality TV and the furthest reaches of the internet, we're here to unpack it all. So grab a snack, settle in, and let's explore the fascinating intersectional world of pop culture. Hello, good afternoon from the couples couch.
Welcome. Happy Good Friday.
It's Good Friday.
Isn't it?
It is.
Okay.
Good Friday. Yeah.
The way you looked at me, I was like, am I wrong?
No.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah, no, it is Good Friday, and it's a great Friday.
It's a great
in my
Friday
opinion.
Here. We're off work.
Yeah.
Chilling,
excited.
getting things together.
Yeah, doing a lot of back-end work.
Yeah,
but
actually, we're not off work at all. I'm just
No.
off of my
Full-time
regular
job.
9 to 5.
Yeah, your full-time job.
Yeah, and that is so sweet. I love it.
Right. We're doing a lot of back-end hustle stuff, but
Yes,
it's been fun.
Yes.
And if you're listening to this on YouTube,
Go ahead.
welcome. It's the first day.
It's the first day that we've recorded this on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, that it's live on YouTube.
Yeah.
That our podcast is. So we're excited to have you listening here. If you
Yes.
haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thank you so much.
Comment, leave us feedback there.
All the things.
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
We do, and we want to have a video component, and honestly, we just have not gotten there yet.
Right.
So,
That is on the agenda of back-end things to do, though.
But you know what?
What?
Today I realized we have March 3rd. We started this podcast on March 3rd.
Yes, we did.
Released, I think, the first episode that day. And it's less than a month, and we've already have 30-something episodes.
I know. Over almost 36 episodes. This is 36, I think.
Yeah, this will be episode 36. Our co-host, Brooks Ann, is wrestling around right now, so we're sorry for that. Here comes the shake.
Yeah, he wants to get under a blanket so bad.
Come on.
Okay, come on under.
I can't.
Yeah.
It's
All right, settle in.
Settle in. We're here. We're getting settled in on the couples couch.
Yeah.
Hi. Do you want to talk about what we did last night?
We should. What did we do last night? Remind me. Oh, we pulled an all-nighter basically for us.
Oh my gosh. It basically was an all-nighter. So last night we were out. What did we do?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no idea. But we stayed up really late. We call ourselves an allegedly old married couple. We're not allegedly married. We call allegedly old. Yeah. And so we go to bed early. We're not out on the weekends. We're not doing the normal things.
We go out during the day on the weekends, but at 6 o'clock, I want to be at home, and 6 o'clock's pushing it. I actually want to be home by 3.
Oh, same. And we always have dinner. That's a lunch dinner. So we have an early dinner.
Actually, that's what we did. We actually had, I remember now. We went to the dentist. That's why it's all such a thing.
Oh, yeah. We already talked about that, but yes.
We got sushi.
Yeah.
We then,
recorded.
went outside. We recorded.
Yeah.
We worked on so much social media back end. Then we finally watched Summer House. We made Maria beef tacos. We didn't go to bed till midnight.
Yeah.
Which is not like me, but I liked it because you know what? I slept till almost 8 a.m. today.
You know what we should have been doing?
What?
Listening
to Cowboy Carter. Let's talk about it. Cowboy Carter came out at midnight last night.
It did, and we were awake for it, but we did not listen.
We missed it because it would have came out at 10, and we did not go to midnight till our time, so we could have fully made it through.
We could have listened to the whole album. It's an hour and 16 minutes from what I read on Spotify, and we could have listened to the whole thing before we went to bed. So
this album, Cowboy Carter, is it has Cowboy Carter Part 2 is within... Act 2 of it is within the album that was released because it is 27 songs.
Yes, it's very long.
And you know what? It released on midnight, and there are all kinds of people on the tracks. So let's
She has a lot of collabs, which I like. I haven't been this excited about a Beyonce album since Lemonade, frankly.
Honestly, me either. Lemonade, I remember watching the visual album to Lemonade. I was at work. I was teaching at an elementary school, and it was my break, and I was just me and the other people that I worked with were watching it together.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun. You watched the visual component?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think I'd watched the visuals of it first too, the whole video of Lemonade, the movie or whatever. But I haven't been this excited about a Beyonce album since then. So yeah, I have a lot of thoughts. And she sang Blackbird. Whew,
it was so
And
good.
that one, I think that one stuck out to me the most because usually the first time I listen to albums or music or anything, it doesn't really register to me. it's usually the second or third time that I'm like, oh yeah, like I hear this thing that I like, or I hear that thing, or like it feels like it's kind of ingratiated in me at that point. So like I just listened through at the gym today, did a full listen through. I thought it was fabulous, but the one that really stuck out to me was Blackbird, because I think I already knew it from the Beatles, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And obviously Jolene, hello.
Jolene slapped. Hold on. I'm going to go to our text real quick. So Tanner and I started listening to this before the gym,
yes,
and then all the way through our workout.
We pulled into the gym and we turned on the Miley Cyrus one. What's that one called? I'll look it up.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll find it. We listened to the Miley Cyrus one, which is called "Do Not Hang Up on Me." No idea. Where's Miley? Most Wanted. It's the Two Most Wanted.
Two Most Wanted. It was so good. The harmonies on that song,
incredible.
Absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
The song, yeah. We talked about like how we thought she would like just sweep at the Grammys.
Definitely.
Like if she doesn't sweep,
we'll be shocked.
Well, obviously this like okay, I'll get to that in just a second. But you texted me. I was like, you need to listen to Jolene. You're like, chills from Jolene. She's daring that beep to try her. I said, I know, it's slapping. And the lyric that you texted me was, I raised that man, I raised his kids. Like, she was like, I've done this for 20 years.
Right.
Oh, and so she changes up the lyrics to Jolene. But, like, the precedence and, like, what is that? Like, the chorus is basically all still the same. But she has, like, completely, like, revamped it for 2024. And it's
incredible.
Amazing.
It's a bop. If you don't know, like, you're probably a newborn baby. But Jolene is from Dolly Parton's perspective. And it's, like, kind of sad. She's like, Jolene, please don't take my man. Like, she's begging this lady. Beyonce is daring this lady to even try to look at her man sideways. And if she dares,
in these something rooms, like, oh, it's
so good. Chills every time. And then my favorite part was whenever she told Jay-Z, like, I've raised you and I've raised your kids. Like, no,
don't
Jolene,
try me.
Don't even. I've raised this man.
It's so good. It's so good.
So good.
Spaghetti slapped.
Yeah, I didn't really connect to that one spiritually yet.
I did because of the genre piece of it, and because it's talking about. So actually, let's talk about it. Spaghetti really talks about one of the things that Beyonce talks about.
How many times can you say talks about?
I don't know.
I love that.
Say it 3 times fast. Take a shot.
I love that.
Take a shot every time I say talks about.
Or yeah.
So Linda Merle is in this, and it's like sampled on the track Spaghetti from her album Color Me Country, and it says genres are a little funny concept, aren't they? Yes, they are. In theory, they have a simple definition that's easy to understand, but in practice, well, some may feel confined. And then she talks about the criticism she's faced in 2016 when she went to the Country Music Awards,
right?
And she received so much backlash, and she's used that energy from that to channel into Cowboy Carter, and this album's been in the making for over the last 5 years.
Yeah, and I did also read on the Daily Mail this morning, the same lady was talking about how this album has been in the can for so long, and like she's like, I've known about this and had to sit with it and simmer and just like settle on the secret of like how good this album is, and now it's out into the universe and it's incredible.
Oh, it's so good.
It's really good.
She samples, so she does like Blackbird on there. I wouldn't even say that's like a sample.
It's not a sample. She fully sings Blackbird.
She fully sings Blackbird. But then she also fully sings Good Vibrations in the track Yaya.
Yeah.
I'm picking up good vibrations.
The Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Yep. So good.
And then she does something from Desert Eagle and that's in Desert Eagle. And then she does something in the song Bodyguard. So yeah, she's just done so much on this. Willie Nelson's also on the track. Willie
Nelson. Dolly Parton has a little intro. Like it's all.
Dolly crushes it.
Yeah, they have cute little intros. Like Willie says something to the effect of like, you don't sometimes know what good thing it are until people put you onto it. So he's saying like, I'm the OG of country. Let me tell you, this is some good stuff. You need to listen.
He says, yeah, you don't know what it is till someone turns you on to some real good
bleep.
Shit.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I wonder if we finished those for each other. That probably wouldn't count.
Yeah, that wouldn't count.
Let's try
maybe we try it. Yeah. He said, turns you on to some real good shit.
It.
I used to do that in elementary school. When people would say things, she would go she, and I would go it.
Yeah.
She.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, we've been listening to the album. We've only listened to it one time through, and it is mind-blowingly good.
It's really delightful.
American Requiem, the first track.
Yeah, it's great.
All of the undertones and like just all of the music and sound and just like what it represents and the voiceover track of it. It is unreal. Like I haven't heard an album paralleled to like the musical symphony of this album to me. in so long.
No, it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It is so good. So if you haven't, go get Beyonce the streams because you know what? She deserves it.
She deserves it. Beyonce should be on a boat resting.
She should.
After all this hard work, Beyonce needs to be on a boat.
Beyonce
resting,
deserves.
Chilling. People catering to her every move. Cowboy Carter needs to be cowboy catered to.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't agree more.
I couldn't either.
Yeah. Now, what we watched last night was very interesting.
Yeah.
We watched Summer House.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't already, spoilers ahead, sorry. But it was really, really good. I thought that, well, let's just go ahead and say it. The name of the episode is Behind Every Great Man is an Even Greater Woman.
Absolutely. And we thought, why not? That's so perfect for Beyonce. Because she is even greater woman than Jay-Z.
Yeah. She is definitely, I agree. But Amanda Batula,
she said it.
Couldn't agree more.
Absolutely. Somebody said something about Cal being great, and she said, well, behind every man is an even greater woman.
Yeah. So.
And I loved it. Yes. So that's like really the name of the episode for us. And it was really, we got a lot of Craig and Paige action.
We did, which was great.
Yes.
We love to see them together. They're such a cute couple.
Mm-hmm. And we got to hear, like, Craig, okay, this is what I think about Craig and Paige. Like, my take is that I really want Paige to affirm him just a little bit more.
I agree.
And I want Craig to listen to Paige when he needs to listen to her when she says things, because she does tell him and he doesn't listen. So maybe she doesn't even need to affirm him a little bit more, but I think that's a part of his love language, like that he likes the affirmation.
Right,
maybe
agreed.
They should just do like a love language test.
Maybe they have, but yeah, I agree. I could definitely see Craig needing more affirmation that Paige could do a little bit more affirming in.
Absolutely.
And I think that Craig could also shut his mouth and open his ears a little bit more and listen to when she does do it and be like, oh, this is what she's saying. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think that that's a beautiful idea. And they should take a love language test if they haven't. So if you're listening, take a love language test.
Take a love language test. What's your top love language?
Quality time, obviously.
No, same.
Yeah. That's why we sit on this couch together and film this podcast.
Absolutely. What's your second?
Affirmation, I think. And then I think third is gifts. Mm-hmm. And then I don't even know what the others are.
Physical touch, acts of service.
Physical touch and acts. No, maybe acts of service is higher for me. I don't really recall. Do you know yours off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head,
Quality time, number one.
Quality time is definitely number one.
Right.
Then I think the second might be physical touch.
Okay.
Third, words of affirmation. Fourth,
services, acts of services. Acts of service.
I would say if we did acts of service and gifts for 4 and 5.
Yeah.
I genuinely like both of those like a lot. But I think I like give more in those ways than I
like to receive them in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like to give that. Yeah.
I love to give gifts.
Right. No, it's so fun.
And I do love to receive gifts, but for so long, like honestly, I don't want this to sound like conceited or cocky, but like we both were making a lot of money, so gifts were just like we just bought ourselves everything we wanted. Right,
totally.
Yeah,
it was definitely different, and so it's been fun to explore it in a different way.
Yeah. Like okay,
what it means. Yeah.
So.
Oh no, I love that though. Yeah, I don't really know what mine are off the top of my head though, but it's something in that order, something close to that.
I think they would totally like do like a good job of like taking. I think they would do like a better job of like hearing each other if they knew like how they love. And honestly, there's probably like I don't know. That's just like the 5 languages I've heard about.
Same. There's probably
others or more different ways, but yeah, like just figuring out like how do you like to communicate like your love?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
True.
Yeah, because I think last night he was like, Paige, do you love me? She was like, of course. Do you? And he's like, but do you love me a lot? And he didn't answer her back. And I was like, you gotta affirm her too. And so with your take of like close your mouth a little bit more and listen, like I thought that was perfect because that's what happened in my head. Yeah, I agree with myself, obviously. Yeah, I obviously agree with myself because I'm myself. Because I literally said it. But no, yes. Because I can. Exactly, Sierra. I'm just kidding. Who is that? I just saw Sierra on this page, Bruno Mars. Similar but not the same. Similar but different. So they're in this episode, they start off kind of at a Southern dinner that Sierra and Lindsey cooked for. They get along swimmingly. I thought that was great because we don't really see
that group of girls get along like that. And this whole episode they did. Like Paige and Lindsey got along.
This episode was the turn.
It was. And Paige was something that I didn't agree with, but we'll dive into that later.
Yeah.
And so they're all at this Southern dinner, and it's apparently delicious. They get along so good. And I think whenever you get along well, your food tastes better.
Your food tastes better because
like you put energy into it.
You put energy into your food. I mean, cooked with love didn't come from nothing.
No, truly. So I think that's why their Southern dinner was the best dinner of the season, so they purport.
Because they said they've been texting this last week. They have been trying to talk to each other. So yeah, their Southern dinner was like, yeah, it was made with love, and West loved it.
West loved it. Kyle is not Kyle, excuse me. What is his name? Carl is not there. He's avoiding Friday nights.
He said no Friday night energy because the therapists, like, they're trying to figure out ways to give and take, and this is a place that he could, like, give and say, you know what, I'm not going to come Friday night, Lindsey, you go have fun, I'm going to stay home, it's triggering for me. Yes,
definitely. And so he is not there, but everyone else is there except for him and Gabby Prescott. I didn't see her last episode, I don't think.
No, we didn't.
Missed her. And so they're at the dinner, and the most messy part to me was whenever Kyle looks over at Jesse, who is sitting beside
Danielle wasn't there either.
Paige. Oh yeah, well, I forgot about Danielle.
Me too. Like, literally just hit me. Sorry, keep going.
No, that's fine. So they're sitting at the dinner.
Paige is where you were.
Right there. Kyle is sitting. No, Jesse Solomon is sitting near Paige, who is sitting by her boyfriend Craig.
Yep.
And Kyle Cook looks at Jesse Solomon and is like, "Hey, you went pretty hard last week in flirting with Paige. Are you going to do that again now that he's here?" More or less, right?
Yeah.
And Jesse's like, "Oh man," like just tries to like brush it off. And then Craig handled it, I thought, in the best way possible. He just said, "Yeah, she's hot. Obviously you would try to flirt with her." But then I would have followed it up with, "Don't let it happen again."
Yeah.
Like I would have checked him also.
But like, I don't want to hear about this again.
Like, yeah, like it, no more. Like you had your moment.
But Craig seemed uncomfortable in the checking.
He did. He didn't really check Jesse. Do you think it's because he's so tall?
No, because Craig's tall.
He's not as tall as Jesse Solomon, I would venture to say. He's like 8 feet.
I think he just like, okay,
here's
my wondering is that like Craig probably already feels insecure with Jesse because he knows that's Paige's like New York type.
Okay, yeah, no, we've already discussed that, and I agree, yeah.
And so I think that he's just like, I'm not going to give it any air because if I like seem jealous or air, then like that's just going to turn Paige off.
Feed in. And two, like they did have the drama in his own show. What's it called?
Southern Charm.
Southern Charm, where someone tried to say that Paige had a boyfriend in New York, and so maybe he was just like trying to like give no smoke.
Yeah, and I think like that's what Paige wants too.
Yeah, no, Paige is very like.
Paige is like, well, I think she was a little. She said she was a little offended, like
that he
didn't want. Like I heard her say that on Amazon Live. Yeah. She's like, but honestly, like, what a good response.
No, like I think there's no other way to handle it. You're sleeping in the same house with this person. Yeah. Like, I mean, like you're really not gonna.
You don't want the tension.
You don't, but I still would have checked him a little harder.
Yeah, I just feel like don't do that again. Absolutely.
Certainly.
So that happens, but so Kyle's being such a messy queen.
Kyle was being super messy at that dinner, which we love to see.
And Amanda was fed up with it though.
Oh, Amanda was irate with Kyle. She wants Kyle unalived.
And so she just said, "Paige, do you want to go look at outfits with me?" And Craig was like, "I'm going with the girls."
Yeah.
They all went upstairs and looked at close. It was just Craig, Paige, and Amanda. And it was just like the girlies. Which, you know what? I think Craig is one of the girlies.
No, he definitely
is. Craig, honestly, I say this in the most loving way.
Craig is me.
Of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Craig is me.
Yeah. I'm like,
I'm sewing
your pillows.
I'm sewing in Denver.
Yeah. No, literally, Tanner loves to sew. Yeah. He loves to quilt. Like, yes. He's actually making some of Brooks' stuff for him. Like,
I'm making my baby clothes.
We're for our second anniversary. Like,
we're gonna make a quilt block.
We're in the process of like making a quilt block together.
Yeah,
like Tanner is just like
because it's cotton. And you
know
what?
The second year.
Fabric is made out of cotton.
The cotton of our lives.
I would love a cotton sponsorship. We could sing it. Yeah. We could do it all.
Do you remember Miranda Lambert had that one? That was my Miranda Lambert.
That was great. It did sound very Miranda Lambert, but no, I don't recall.
Or was it Reba?
No, it was Miranda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Of course.
So, yeah, we saw that to say they have that. And then the next day.
Yes. They're all at the pool, right? They're chilling at the pool, or what's happening?
Race car party.
Oh, that was kind of wild. Yes. So they're
race
all.
Race car party.
Carl comes and he brings the race cars.
He brings the race cars, and we think, like, the preview for last week looked like what's her name went off because of the race car.
Amanda. Lindsey?
Lindsey.
Okay.
Thank
Went off
you.
on Carl?
Yeah, because of the race car. But like, we didn't see any of that happen.
No,
like, we didn't see
it didn't play out
anybody
this
blow
episode.
up, and
It's building, though.
it is building.
We
And we do see, though.
I was gonna say we got a to be continued, so you definitely know it's building. They don't even
Yeah.
give you a preview for next week's
Yeah.
episode.
They don't even give a preview. My take on going back to Paige and Craig real quick is that Craig wanting to help Paige pay for her apartment is like for him showing some type of commitment. And that's what Paige was kind of asking last night. And I just wish he could have said it in a different way instead of like, I don't know. Like, I can tell that he just feels insecure. And I'm like, okay, I need them to like work on that. Like, I don't like that.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's not ideal.
But people always want to talk about Paige moving to Charleston, but I still think this was Craig. I say Craig. That's their name. Craig. Craig's attempt at like putting forward like something to be like, you know what, like I'm invested in being in New York with you. I will like spend some time in New York with you, and like this is like me investing in that.
Right.
And so like that's how I took it. It's like not even like it's an investment in their relationship, maybe not even investment in engagement, but like people always are talking about you being in Charleston. Like, what if I like spent some money up here and spent some time with you in New York? But I also get Paige's side.
I agree. I'm just so on Paige's side with this because, like, it could all be over tomorrow. No offense to them, but like,
no, absolutely, I'm 100% on Paige's side. I've just understand.
I know,
Craig's
of
POV.
course, you are. You're a woman.
Yeah.
This is a woman's own podcast. Like,
absolutely.
Like this, it is what it is. But and this episode is about women being better than the men.
That's
so,
true.
Yeah, no, I'm fully on board with that. But I'm just like, I just can't imagine because they could live in a place with her budget that would still be nice, and he's not there all the time. That's like true. It would be different if he would then say like, hey, I'm also going to give you another commitment of I'm going to spend 3 months out of the year here with you, like, or you know, like consecutive weeks out of the year here with you.
Yeah.
Like he also needs to up his ante in his commitment to her if he wants it to be that way, because then it would make Paige feel more secure in the fact that, hey, like this man's not leaving. He's going to be here 3 months out of the year. So yeah, I'll take your extra $5,000 and we'll have a great apartment.
Absolutely.
He needs to up his ante.
I agree with that. And I agree with Paige fully of just being like, I don't need to be tied to a man, and how like somebody said she couldn't change her plane tickets one time and it left a bad taste in her mouth and she'll never do it again.
Respect.
And that I understand, like, because not all money's good money.
I agree. I don't really want to get into the car things we were talking about before. We kind of skipped over it anyways. Yeah. Basically, Wes gets pushed by Kyle, and it just kind of furthers Amanda's anger towards Kyle. Like,
yeah, it does. Because, like, Kyle is just, like, being super childish again, and she's like, oh, my God, you say that I'm not ready for things, and you act like a 3-year-old all
act like
the time.
A toddler who can't find anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's on everyone's nerves. No offense to you, Kyle. I love your mullet. Shout out to your mullet.
But yeah, you're on everyone's nerves.
But you're on everyone's nerves at the moment. And so Paige, Amanda, and Lindsey, they're all huddled around the pool.
Yeah.
Which I loved because they're getting along. And again, like, we haven't really seen this version of the girls.
Yeah, we haven't. They're talking about like what Lindsey shared the other night about sex, and how like that her and Carl were not
partaking.
They were not partaking. They were not getting down.
No.
Frequently or oftenly, and they used to all the time.
Right.
And so right before you get married, like that's a little scary.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It would be like, a pause.
Okay, like, well, okay, we do this all the time. Why did we stop all of a sudden?
Yeah, because I'm sure
without, they haven't communicated about it because she's clearly confused about it.
Obviously, yeah. No, I agree. It would be a huge red flag in my opinion.
Yeah. And Lindsey says though that she thinks that Carl thought she would kind of change. And she did for a minute.
She did. She was sober for a while.
She was sober for like, I think,
a few
6
months. Yeah, a few months at least.
3 to 6 months, I would say, at least.
Yeah. I was thinking it was 9, but yeah, it was a
while. Maybe it was 9.
And so, like, I do think that, and I've said this before, like, we've seen it. Whenever Lindsey drinks, she does change.
She has a lot in her.
And so, I just don't know that, like, drinking is for everyone.
No, I agree with that. I don't think it's for everyone.
And so...
And I can't tell you if you're that everyone, but...
Right, of course, it's not for me to say. I'm not even saying it's not for her, but I'm just like...
saying, like, it affects people.
It affects people, and I've seen it affect her, so... Okay.
But Lindsey calls them miniature flags, not deal breakers. She goes, I'm seeing a lot of miniature flags. But I wouldn't call them deal breakers. And then Paige really asked her the ultimate question of, do you really want to do this? Because you know what? Like, you can break it off now a lot easier than you can get divorced in 2 years.
Which is so true.
She's not wrong.
Yeah, like if you're having these even miniature, what did she call them? Miniature flags.
Yes.
I would still be questioning because like you're about to hitch your wagon to this man's horse.
And like Carl and Kyle are talking, and it sounds like Lindsey and him resent each other. It's like what they're pulling out, and it's
Right.
like, okay, all this is happening back and forth. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
They've really been throwing out a lot this season.
Yeah.
Good
yeah,
luck.
they do. Yeah, Carl and all of them. Even Jesse Solomon spoke a lot of good sense at the end towards Carl, I thought. Oh,
Absolutely.
That's what I wanted to say. Whenever the girls were all at the pool, Paige said something that I disagreed with. This is rare, so let's go on record and say that she saw Lindsey's side of things. And I think she's just being manipulated by Lindsey, frankly.
Well, I don't know if she's even being manipulated by Lindsey. I think it's just like people are always going, Carl, are you okay? Carl, are you okay? And Lindsey is jumping down his throat, but people aren't stopping to ask, why is Lindsey jumping down his throat?
Right. But if I'm with this man all weekend and I don't see him doing anything that's weird or like, you know what I mean? Like, I probably would be like, Carl, are you okay?
No, that's
because
true.
I see Lindsey act up and act out all weekend long, but I'll see Carl remain calm, cool, and collected always.
That's true.
And so I'm like, it doesn't warrant the same question in my opinion.
Yeah.
So like I understand what she's saying in like, this is a woman's podcast. But like also like I think the reactions Lindsey gives don't warrant the same response that Carl gets.
No, I agree. And I just like think
you agree to disagree, and that's fair.
No. I just see what Paige is saying.
No,
I'm
definitely.
actually like
you don't think
Carl,
she was wrong?
No, I actually think
I disagreed with her in that moment, with Paige in that moment.
Oh yeah, no, but I can see though being like a girl and being like, okay, nobody's on your side. You're about to get married. This is weird.
Yeah.
Like I get seeing that. Now, do I think Lindsey is like the main culprit of these things? Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Do I think her and Carl aren't talking about clear things that need to be discussed, i.e., employment? And how they're going to pay for their life?
Right.
Absolutely. And they're not talking about it, and it's creating this huge underriff of everything else. I think is creating everything else.
No,
and
that's
Lindsey's
true.
drinking, like she thinks she holds it together during the week. But once she leaves Carl, like you can see like just how much she needs to unload when she gets with Amanda when they like were driving that one time. And like you can see how much she's just like without Carl, and just like, you know, it's just it's not good.
It's not. But that's really where they kind of left the episode. And like I said, they did leave it in a to be continued status. So we didn't get any updates as to what we're going to see next week. But
yes,
hopefully Gabby will be back. And hopefully Danielle.
Yeah, hopefully they'll both be back. You'll be back
soon. You'll see. Just like us, because you know what? We're about to wrap this up.
We're about to wrap this up, and you'll get another one soon.
Yeah. So thanks so much for listening. We are on all platforms. So listen to us anywhere you care. And we are so happy that you are there. I'm the official Dr. Seuss of the show.
You were there.
But yes, thank you so much. We're on Instagram. We are on Facebook. We're on TikTok at the Couples Couch Podcast. Please go give us a follow there. We would love to engage with you. We create a lot of content and love to chat. So we'll continue the conversation. We'll talk soon. Love you.
Love you. Bye.